Wonderful. I must say it's really great to see all the colour. It's really good. Okay, so thank you everyone for joining the family of Shannon Bunfield here today to celebrate Shannon's life, and that's what it's about, celebrating her life. I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Lauren Newman. I'm a civil celebrant, and I was honoured to conduct Shannon's funeral service and to be here with you today. Earlier today, Shannon's family gathered at Gungahlin Cemetery for Shannon's burial service. Some years ago, Shannon had told her family that she thought the new burial area at the Gungahlin Cemetery sounded really nice and that she thought it was a lovely idea. So that's where her family decided was the best spot for Shannon's final resting place. And I'm sure everyone here will join in me expressing our deepest condolences for the death of Shannon to her husband Glenn, parents Trish and Rod, and her much loved brother Jordan and nephew Jace, and to everyone here who loves Shannon. It was a shock when someone so young, and Shannon was only 37, actually dies. 37 years may seem like a short life, but Shannon fitted in a lot into that time. Of course, when someone dies, we can feel a great range of emotion, and we feel that they have been taken away from us. These feelings can range from anger to pain, to hurt, sorrow, and of course, grief. All of these are very personal, and it's very personal as how we deal with these feelings. But the things that we can't take away are the experience of loving and the experiences of sharing in a life. I believe that the grief and the heartache that we feel bears witness to our love. Grief simply cannot exist except where there has been love. But we're all here to remember Shannon and to celebrate her life. Let's remember Shannon's life with gratitude, joy, gladness, and of course that love. Let's remember her quirky self, her radiant smile, her glorious hair, her quirky clothing, her love of cats and dogs, the fact that she could walk into a room and was very quickly friends with everyone there. But how do you condense a life into stories and memories? It's really difficult. A whole life from birth to death. We can tell you that Shannon was born in Armidale on the 31st of December 1983, that she had an imaginary friend called Spitty. Not sure where that name came from, but Spitty was very naughty and did all the naughty things Shannon would just never do. Spitty seemed to disappear after the family moved to Canberra in 1988. Shannon went to school here in Canberra. She was married in Canberra to Glenn in the backyard of Glenn's parents' house in 2012. She was smart, she was stubborn, she was interested in science, the universe. She loved loud music. She loved having her birthday on New Year's Eve and once had a three-legged cat. There were these things and just so much more. So now I'd like to ask Shannon's husband, Glenn, to come up and share some of his memories and words about Shannon. You might want to lift that up, I suppose.
I'll kneel down.
When I first met Shannon, we were working at the same place, and I invited her out to lunch. I wanted to impress her, so I took her to a fancy cafe. I ordered a large meal, and then she ordered a milkshake. No meal, just a milkshake. So we sat awkwardly while I finished my giant meal, and she slurped her milkshake. But we were both always slightly awkward weirdos, so that didn't stop us from hitting it off. I grew to love that weirdo. Shan had the ability to be completely impervious to what other people thought and show her true self to all around her. She said she never wanted to be the centre of attention, but her silly antics, a gorgeous smile, and infectious laughter would often mean that she was. I always envied Shan's ability to instantly connect with those around her. by having zero filter. I still do. She showed me even more of that side in the 16 years we spent together. She would sometimes burst out of her door with music playing and pull a silly face, doing a ridiculous dance, which made me crack up every time. And I would often join her in her silly dance. I put that in our wedding vows, that we would continue to make silly faces at each other, and we did. Despite Shannon's bubbly personality, she was sometimes sad, sometimes insecure, sometimes depressed. And she had a lot of trouble talking about that with others. We can't always rationalise a tragedy like this, but we can make it mean something. We can look after each other, and we can ask for help when we need it. I need all of you to do that. To have the strength to talk to those closest to you, and ask for help if they need it, and let them know when you do. Shan was smart, much more than she let others know or gave herself credit for. She read more books than I ever will, enjoyed fierce political debates, and she loved science and finding out about the awesomeness of the universe. So I'd like to read a quote from Neil deGrasse Tyson for her. The atoms that comprise life on Earth, the atoms that make up the human body, are traceable to the elements cooked under the extreme temperatures and pressures of stars. These stars, when unstable, they collapsed and then exploded, scattering their enriched guts across the galaxy, guts made of carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, and the fundamental ingredients of life itself. These ingredients became part of gas clouds that condense, collapse, form solar systems, stars with orbiting planets. And those planets have the ingredients for life itself. So when I look up at the night sky, and I know, yes, we are part of this universe, we are in this universe, but perhaps more important than both of these facts is that the universe is in us. When I reflect on that fact, I look up. Many people feel small because the universe is big, but I feel big because my atoms came from those stars. Shannon and I gave each other silly names when we first met. We decided that she was Bubble Monkey Pixel Cat. This got shortened over the years, and I affectionately called her Bubble or Bub. I love you, Bubble. Goodbye. I hope one day your atoms are part of the stars again.
Totally wonderful. And now, Shannon's mother, Trish, would like to share some memories of her daughter.
Thank you. I'm not actually going to share a memory. I'm just going to read a poem. I think she's in the sun, the wind, the rain. She's in the air you breathe with every breath you take. She sings a song of hope and cheer. There's no more pain, no more fear. You'll see her in the clouds above, hear her whisper words of love. We'll all be together before too long. Until then, listen for her song. And as everybody knows, a girl born on New Year's Eve was born to party, born to sparkle, and born to shine. And that is what my baby did. Thank you.
And also Shannon's father, Rod, would now like to say some words about his daughter.
like to thank everyone for coming and celebrating Shan. I just got a few little stories I'd like to tell about the darling. A few years back, we were doing up the house to sell it, and I'd just bought some beautiful big 4-panel doors to hang in the house. And I just put Shannon's door on that afternoon. And for some inane reason, Jordan flew out of his room with a plastic bat and he bashed a hole in her door. And I didn't know what was going on. I opened the door, Shannon was in the door. What she'd done, while he was sleeping, he'd come up with a glass of water and poured it all over him. We were in Magnetic Island once on a holiday with Shannon baby, and we were both relaxed on the sand. And I just had to open my eyes and I said, "Where's Shannon?" And looked down about 60 metres away, and she was halfway walking in the water. She was about 2. I'm going to miss my little baby girl. I've just written this little thing here. So, life is fleeting and you think it's fine and it begins and you enjoy. You pair and have a beautiful gift. She is everything. You try to watch her progress, hopes and her dreams. Today we farewell my precious baby. I love her so much. Please let's enjoy all. Be happy. Shem would love it. She had the power to change the world. Thank you.
Was there anyone else who wanted to actually say anything? Anything at all? No? Feel free. No, that's fine. There's no pressure. I just thought someone might like to. Now Glenn has prepared a lovely slideshow to share with you, and afterwards, of course, the family is would be very pleased if you'd join them all to share some of your memories of Shannon. And I do hope that you all leave here feeling a little bit more lighthearted. Thank you.